Hey, Kevin. This is for Thursday, May 9. Um, that's the S&P. Let me get down into the spreads. I'll just start doing the spreads. June AUG. June AUG. Um, this still remains a target, this area. You can see that actually on the bear with me. You can see that on the newsletter itself. Here's a speed line. I have that at 370 today. That actually should be 372 half. There's something else they got the low of the high at 370. It's about the same thing. Anyway, but holding below this speed line, which we did push above yesterday, but nonetheless settled below, does maintain, a downward target. And I'll go back into my spreads here again, uh, down to this area, 195 to 230. This is our support region that can absorb selling into June expiration. If we close back above 370, 3725, then this channel top is likely again within a week or two. So that's really what you've got. Um, we'll continue on with the August October. Look at that. See, we pushed through that and came back like the other spreads. Um, this tomorrow is 0.025. All right. And above which we should continue up to 1.0. Until then, yeah, it's the one, and now it's 1.05. So if we close above, um, you know, 0.025, then this 1.05 is likely within a week or two, where we can top out into, well, let's see. I'm going to say through June. Yeah. All right. So it held for all intents and purposes, and below which now we could slip back to this channel structure, the base at 1.0. On to October Dees. Wow. We talked about buying that today, and then we talked about the speed line. I'm glad we held off. Buy signal failure, big time. The speed line is really now the de facto resistance as far as this chart's concerned, which tomorrow is at 3.2, 3.225. Okay? Holding below this remains weak. This is just a daily resistance area. Fool me once, we settle above it, broke back below. I'm actually going to eliminate that as well. So now there is some support, obviously, in this area, which is just the low, negative 4.20. This must be a double channel structure. I'm actually going to ignore it. I'm going to call this negative 4.2. And this should be a negative, of course. All right. So that's kind of what we're looking at. Bearish below the speed line. Call it that. And that's the October Dees. Dees Feb also broke back. So once again, I do think, yeah, former channel bottom 265. We have this channel top 2675. Okay, that is our breakout. More importantly, this is the resistance 265 on the Dees Feb. That is our ceiling, below which we can break to new lows. If we close above it, I'm fine with buying it. June, October. This is that 2-4 thing. This basically held today, and this is 275. There's long-term support at 1475. 150 doesn't really matter at this juncture. what I put. And in fact, I can't even, holding above this area at 275, as you can see here, and I've illustrated the other one, we should reach into this area. I want to say that this is a range of resistance, really, between 457 and 50. God dang it, why is this not taking? Bear with me here. They really could improve things on this. I don't think they've made any improvements on this software for many years. In fact, I think it's less of a product than it was down on the trading floor back in the late 80s. This is a range of resistance, but if we close above 4.575, then we're expecting this. I think this is the more meaningful. This is a channel top that now is at basically 6 even. And I think that's what we should allow. So we've got support here, this long-term support at, I'm going to erase that, at 1.50, and above which 6.0 is in reach over the coming weeks. And we have secondary strength above 2.75. So there you have it. Ogdees. Well, there we are. Still 360, this channel top. Oh, I actually made the adjustment. So that's our resistance. And our support for the day, 325,275. Should be the other way around, 325,275. But that's it. If we close below it, today's low was 4,275. We should just get out. On an intraday basis tomorrow, I know we still have one. We have an ascending channel top. Which is at 4.450. Okay. Was actually below this area. So, we could just scratch this thing tomorrow or come close to it if we, I don't know, it's tough. You break 4.325, you're just a few ticks from 4.450. So I suppose the stop tomorrow is below 4.450. Where exactly we could just simply say a negative 4.50 stop. Negative 4.50 stop, question mark. I'm just going to leave the arrow there for tomorrow. Until then, I might as well finish my thought here. This is bottom picking territory, and we can still get up, even up into this area over the next several weeks. Okay? October, Feb. Wow. Right back. Did we buy this today? Let me see your notes again. I can't remember. No, we didn't buy that. Yeah, okay. We did not buy that. And this, forget it. It's like, when you get these failures, does it mean we're going to sell off now? Probably, but, there's not a lot of clarity on that front. So this is really our key resistance area up here. We have a still valid longer-term speed line, former channel bottom, and descending channel top, all in this region. So I'm going to say negative 5.550650. That is it. Okay. That's the big area for this October Feb. Lean hogs. I'm going to jump into the OGDs real quick because we did buy this. Okay. 13,375 settlement. According to this, is still above that high. I don't have a problem with this. I'm not going to regard this channel. I can see another channel formation that we need to look at. And that's too much heat, I think, for us to take tomorrow. 11,825, but I'll put it there anyway. This is where the spread turns south into next week if we settle below it. But I do like the way it closed. It could have closed higher, but it did close above this low at 13,275 and above the former high at 1320 and this former channel bottom at 1287 half or 1290. So I do like this. The question we should have obviously is where is our stop tomorrow? We bought it at 1330. Yesterday's low was 1270. So I'm just going to put 12,675 stop as a question. Okay. And once again, I'm going to leave the arrow there because it's a pain in the butt. But you get the idea. If we break 1270, this market could test. In fact, I think probably would test this 1182 formation. And I think you and I would both agree we don't really want to take a 1.5 on this, I'm guessing. Although, you know, not until we settle below this does this thing look ugly into next week. Until then, you know, it's safe. But, you know, if we break, especially if we close below 1270 tomorrow, this thing is more in a consolidative framework into next week, and I don't think we really want to just sit and watch this thing. So there you have that. Let me jump back into the top of the spread list, though. June AUG. Okay, we closed up in the day. We're kind of still, this is 645 basically is our channel support. Resistance question mark. Oh, here it is. Well, yeah, once again, we closed above it, closed below it. You know, I'm not crazy about following the spread. I mean, you know, we're going to watch it day to day, and if we get up here, I think it's worth a sale. And if you want to buy it again at 645, I'm fine with that. But if we close below it, we continue south. I don't know. Let's see, these lows were all 652. Yeah, I think 645, 647 half is still a good purchase if tested. The big question, though, is where, you know, what's the buy signal? I suppose it would be a settlement above this close at 347 half. So let's just put it this way. Holding above 645, the next several weeks should yield 165. Okay. Okay. So, October. Kind of the same picture here, you know. We've got these 1 to 2 week parameters. And in fact, I'm not, sorry. I was going to jump into a Skype conversation just now with you here. Let's see. This is our pivot point downside. Okay. 7675. That's a downward pivot point. I think if we do, the chances of violating this again are pretty good. That low, I think, would be in reach next week. This channel bottom, it didn't hold very well. It held for a few days, and then we violated it, and then we got back above it. It's just a little sloppy here. So, I almost don't want to pay attention to this. I would rather watch this channel formation, above which, if you want to buy this tomorrow, 7675, if given the chance, I'm fine with that. We want to see the market close above it, because above this 7675, 10550 is likely, I think, over the next week or two. All right. October Dees. Okay. Settled high in the day, not a new move high, but it's still, I think we had talked about this is a decent buy down here still. 4.125. And then this trend line basically is 925. Decent range, narrow range, above which, this, I think this area up here is likely. This is really more of a 1 to 2 week play. July, October. Okay, yeah, this is that 2-4 thing, right? Yeah. So yeah, this is our resistance. I'm going to call it 7.40. And you and I are talking. I think we do buy a close above this. You could buy a couple perhaps, unload one here, and then unload one up here if given the chance. This is 9825 now. And this speed line ultimately is 12375. Okay, so this is our ceiling, below which we remain bearish into June. Closing above is a buy signal. The question is, expecting for sure this 9.825, but quite possibly within several weeks at 12375. And that's July, October. August Dees. This is the one we bought. Okay, we've already gone over that. October Feb. Look at that speed line, just holding. I'd buy this. I'd buy this with a settlement above, or even pushing above. I mean, yesterday's high was 2.10. Let's take a look here. On an intraday basis, above 2.10 for sure, I think. I mean, anything can happen, but you can see there's some illiquidity here. You've got a day here. What the hell happened here on the 6th? But if we close above it, I do believe this 5.5 is likely. Okay. Get these Fibonacci's out of here. I'll get this channel formation out of here too. All right. And that's 2.10. Take a look at this hogs live cattle. Nothing just yet. Still have this channel structure. Still hanging out up here. This is the June contract. By the way, I'm doing both 30 and gold. I know you know this, but they're separate letters, and I've got you tagged in on both of those. Take a look at the corn spread. I got excited there for a second when they didn't show today's activity. 18.7 still. Holding above this, this market is in the midst of consolidation, but can continue higher as we continue, into June and July. I think this is, if we close below, we bail on the entire spread. I think we talked about that. I know we did this morning. Spreads wheat, spreads beans. See what's going on. Beans lower. We had the secondary sell signal, so that spread, July Nove, remains active. We did cover all that. I'll take a look at the softs real quick. Everything else you have access to. This is continuing to show weakness after testing this upper area. I'm going to eliminate this channel structure. And this might as well be eliminated too. And this is our target down here. Cocoa, nothing, right? Yeah, just nothing to do here from what I can tell. Coffee and cotton. Cotton continues its sell-off after the sell signal last week. Continuing to show weakness. 77.70. I don't think we're going to see that anytime soon. We are going to see this, though. Maybe by the end of the next week, 69.72. And this was the big resistance. So there's that. So, 20 minutes, 22 minutes into it. Covered the spreads. Everything else you have access to. I'm trying to think right now whether there's anything to do. Gold is still very active. We tested a speed line. In fact, I'll pull that up. Because we could be setting up, we don't know for sure. Bear with me here. God damn it. I have to open them up properly. Okay. So, oh, Jesus. Sorry, Kevin. Here we go. This is it. All right. Okay, let's bump this up. We have a speed line that we're likely to test, I think, over the next few days because we tested this speed line here. But this is the meaningful one. If we close below it, this thing looks weak, And I think, buying out of the money puts in gold at that point in time would be advisable. So I will keep watching this, but this is the big pivot point, below which I say we buy puts. And take Canadian dollar. Yeah, nothing really here. Is the British pound sold off? We did have a sell signal. No, it actually came back. So this is all muddled now. There's really nothing to jump on here. I think that's about it. The beans are testing support again. Wheat is testing support again. Tomorrow, Friday. I don't know if we will or not. But, if we do settle the week below this structure, and by that I really need 428.5, 1% below it, we need to start looking for wheat puts, in my opinion. Something far out in terms of time, 390s or lower, 410s, whatever. September, December. It's something that could play out over time. Should play out over time. I think that's going to be it for tonight, 25 minutes or so, and we'll talk in the morning.